Alright, what's up guys? It's your boy Pudis back again with another deck profile. It's been a while, but we're back and I want to show my good friend, The Meta, and he has a great deck to show you right now. And he's gonna tell you why it's awesome right now, so I'll give it to him.
Alright, so there's already deck profiles on this already in a bit, but I call this Chaos Metaphys. It basically runs a little bit of a Chaos engine, standard Metaphys stuff. So 3 Nephthys, 3 Daldaeus, 3 Ragnaroks. You have to run all these at 3. He's the Stratos. He banishes your deck, and he helps you get rid of heavy, like special summon monsters, and he banishes other Metaphys cards. So they're all pretty good. You have to run these at 3. If you run them lower than 3, there's something wrong with you. Decoy Dragon helps you trigger off their effects of their special summon effects, and he's he's underrated, but he's still pretty good. 3 was too cloggy. 1, I never saw him. 2 is perfect for you guys. Tyrant Dragon, I don't like him. Straight up, I hate him. Every time if I open up with him, he's just really bad. I see a lot of people run 2 of him. I run 1 just for name based. I mean that, and also you can also special summon Metaphys monsters from your hand, so it can trigger off like Daldaeus to kill special summon monsters, Nephthys to kill set back row, stuff like that. Or if you wanted to, you could get Ragnarok to get his trigger ability off, stuff like that. But he's honestly just dead weight in my hand. I don't like him at 2. I tried him at 2, didn't like seeing him a lot. 1's perfect for you. So that's it for all the Metaphys monsters. Now, of course, Fun Tech, Necroface. This guy's a homie. Love him. I had him at 2 for a while. Then one of my buddies, shout out to Vert for that. He literally was like, "Why don't you put him to 3?" So I bumped him to 3, and now 3. I love seeing him in my hand. Nice. He helps deal with the Cachetiras because he just recycles your banish, and if you could get him off by banishing. Hit with his effect, you're going to banish. You're basically milling your opponent.
Yeah, I think that's very smart.
It's very smart, really good. He's one of the reasons why I run the Chaos engine. The Lone Wolf, I'm not going by his TCG name, I'm going by his OCG name. He's basically a fucking. He's a gold sarcophagus on legs.
I see.
Basically. So then the Chaos part of it, we got 2 Chaos Leviers. He helps recycle if you don't have the board, which I'll show you in the spells. If you don't have it set up yet, he can help get your Metaphys that are in the graveyard into the banish. Nice. As fast as possible. In 1 shell, 1 core. They came out of the set. They basically recycle each other out. He helps you get using synchro plays. He helps you banish your light monsters that are in your hand or graveyard that you need to. So he helps you get, like, if I have Tyrant Dragon in my hand and I don't want him in my hand, he helps me get rid of him, special summon himself out. And if he's banished, these recycle each other out. So if he's banished and he's special summoned, he special summons himself out. If he's special summoned and he's banished, he special summons out. So it's basically recycling hand in hand with each other. And he helps me get rid of my Necrofaces, get their trigger effect off that are in the graveyard or in my hand, just so I can start milling my opponent out for that. So it's a heavy monster lineup. I think it's about 22 from what my friend was telling me. So other than that, we'll go spells. Pot. Now, people who are probably watching this will be questioning why the frick pot. Honestly, playtesting this deck a lot. I don't special summon that much during my turn.
Mostly during your opponents.
Mostly during my opponents, yeah, because they all activate during the standby phase. So they activate all during the standby phase and stuff like that. So it doesn't really matter. And he also kind of makes it to where it baits out the ashes or anything like that goes off. It's a really good extender for this deck. It helps me go through my decks I need to go through, stuff like that. One of my favorite cards. Dimensional Fissure, glides back to 3.
That's gonna mess up a lot of people.
It messes up basically every heavy graveyard based deck. It messes up. My buddy, same one, Vert. He runs most of his decks are all graveyard heavy based, so he does not like going against his deck because of Dimensional Fissure, just because. The Metaphys spell card. I saw people run this at 3 too much. I ran it at 1. I never saw it, so 2 was kind of like, again, 2 for me is just the bread and butter for this deck. And then my special tech in this deck also, Sacred Sword 7 stars. It helps me banish my Metaphys monsters that are in my hand. It's draw power, basically. So I'm going to get them banished. I'm going to get the draw power, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
pretty
amazing.
good. And then finally, Core Squirrel and Sarcophagus, just because it works with the deck.
Seems like a lot of good consistency.
It's consistency. If this thing was back to 3, it would probably. If this thing was back to 3, I would probably take out the pots, but I don't know. But if you don't like the pots in here, honestly, for these guys, you can replace them for like hand traps if you want to.
Yeah.
But I don't run any hand traps in the deck because I really don't need to. For traps, they're trap card. It's just an extender. Helps you get your Metaphys cards getting off. Macrocosmos, again, I call it it's a trap dimensional fissure. It's funny as heck. It's funny. It's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna hate seeing that.
It's good. It's good to screw up like runings and stuff like that because they're gonna be vanished. And then 2 Chaos Phantasms. I'll show you in the extra deck why I run him. He basically helps me get out my synchro monsters, and he's freaking amazing. Like I'm glad like the new support that came out for the Chaos stuff. I tried this out at 1. It was not enough. I tried this at 3. Too much. Again, 2's perfect. Same thing for macro. I see people run 3 in macro, and yes, don't get me wrong, it's great to see him, but I don't want to see like 2 of them in my hand. Like if I have one, if it gets too clogging and stuff like that. So
yeah, extra space is always great.
Right. So that's it for the main deck. That's about 40 right there. Extra deck. Third ward blocker. Shout out to my buddy Nate for this. We're looking into this and everything. I'll try to figure out a way to keep Dimensional Fissure from not getting killed. So he recycles my Dimensional Fissures during the graveyard.
Damn, yeah, they're gonna like farm or something.
And he helps me save my either Dimensional Fissure or their spell card from being popped and everything like that.
Amazing.
It's a very underrated link.
So
yeah, I run 2 just because I just don't see a 3 of this because one of this I really want to link into him just in case the other one gets just killed or some shit like that. So again, shout out to my buddy Nate for this one. This card, especially with Cacciateras, I've gotten this thing probably close to about 11,000 attack points, and if he's banished, he's gonna be brought back out. Doesn't matter.
That's me. OTK and he comes back.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep coming back and he's getting banished. You know, so it's a really good extender in this deck. Since you're always banishing with this deck, so
yeah.
Synchros, Chaos Beasts. You can make them in this deck easily with the level 2.
Yeah, the level 2 tuner.
Yeah, with Core and Shell, or you could do it with Decoy Dragon and Ragnarok. But you don't really synchro summon into him at all. You mostly synchro summon like your 6. You go into Horus. Horus makes it to where Horus is funny because you're always going to either go into with Ragnarok and Decoy Dragon, and you're always going to get the last effect out to where your opponent has to choose a monster on the field and give it to you. So it's funny. It's funny because if your opponent only has 1 monster, you basically get that monster. And then what I usually do is I do that, and then I link it off, and I usually go into like blocker for that. So it's pretty good. I like him. Plus he's a Metaphys, so he procs off of the ability. He procs off of the effects and stuff like that. Chaos Archfiend. Freaking love this card. I wish I had more of him. But he's pretty good, especially for this for a chaos based deck since I'm banishing a lot. Now this is my tech in the deck, but these are my multiple techs in the deck. So we're in Chaos Goddess, Chaos King Archfiend. Now, if you're wondering how the heck I bring him out, he brings him out. He says brings out a Chaos Synchro monster in your extra deck and special summons it. So Chaos King can get brought out, Chaos Goddess can be brought out, Chaos Beast can be brought out. He basically brings out the extenders of these.
I see.
So it's pretty good. He's funny because especially if your opponent has like a if you're going against like Vendreads, that's the example I can give you for him. If you're going against Vendreads, they switch their attack defense from each other because he's attacking, and it's permanent until the end of the battle phase. It doesn't matter if he dies. If you have like him on the field or anyone like that, the monsters are going to be switched. So if they have low attack low defense points, they're gonna die no matter what. So he's pretty fun. Chaos Goddess just recycles for you. Helps you just recycle. Cypher Omega. You have to run him as generic. It's good generic. MVP of the deck is Angel Zera. Targets gets 100 attack for each card your opponent's banished, which is going to be a lot for this deck. And it's the same scenario as Top Logic. If he's banished, he's going to be brought back up no matter what. So, pretty good. I like him. I had him at 1. Then when I found a second one, I'm like, I'll put him at 2. Hands down, putting him at 2. Draco helps you get monsters from getting banished. And then my other bread and butters for these help out with Chaos Phantoms. Besides like the Chaos monsters themselves, like Chaos King Archfiend, stuff like that, you know, or Chaos Goddess and everything. 1 Beazle and 1 Draco. I could be this helps me recycle like my this helps me recycle my synchros to back into the graveyard. And he could be brought out with Necroface and Ragnarok, and people are just not going to expect him like at all. And then finally, since you can, Star Eater.
Star Eater. It's nice.
You can make him super easy in this deck. It's like he's the easiest one to make in this deck. It's Ragnarok with any of the Metaphys monsters because they're all level 7s except for Tyrant. But
I haven't seen Star Eater forever. I haven't seen Star Eater in forever.
Yeah, dude, Star Eater. Like I had him at 2, but then I've dropped it down to 1 because I need to make room for my extra deck for a lot more stuff. The extra deck's still in kind of testing, so
yeah, it depends on what you need to go against.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Let's go see sideboard, or just like things that you would just use against.
So this is my side deck. Your side deck could be different. Three shifters and 2 banishers. Banisher is basically a macrocosmos on leg. So on shifter, he basically helps. His macrocosmos is a hand trap. So this is my opinion of a good side deck purposes, because yeah, you can main deck it. If you want to main deck him, take out the pots. Straight up. If you want to main deck him, take out the pots, just so you can see him. Yeah. But I playtest him in the deck, and I kind of did like it. So other than that, 1 Necro Valley and 1 Terraforming. It helps with graveyard-based decks. Heavy graveyard-based decks. Kill zombies, stuff like that. Good card. Call by the Grave, you have to run as a generic. It's a hand trap killer. Yeah. This kills like any Cachetiras, Synchro-based decks, stuff like that. And then Curse Seal just kills Runics. That's my opinion. So
yeah, I like the deck too, because you're telling me that like it really stops a lot of the meta that's a lot of people are having problems against right now.
Yeah, especially with the meta right now, because with Cachetiras, you kind of work with the back row, like banish effects and stuff like that, which is not that bad of a deal. But before the meta switch with the Cachetiras, it kind of killed off all the decks in general, stuff like that. So it's good. I liked it. I've been running this deck since for a couple of years now. But I ran like an Invoke deck, but then I decided to try to go pure with this deck, and I did. Necroface kind of was the homie that made this deck seem.
I see. Well, go ahead and give everybody your Twitch channel.
Twitch.tv/TheRealMeta. I do play some Yu-Gi-Oh on there, but I mostly just play like MOBA-based stuff, a couple of Destiny for a bit, but I don't know. Lately, I've kind of helping out my the missus trying to learn Yu-Gi-Oh. So we'll probably play more Yu-Gi-Oh on there, so she can learn how to understand it, stuff like that. If it's in Spanish, don't threat. It's because the missus speaks Spanish. She's trying to learn how to read the cards.
That's deep.
So she can understand. So she can understand how to play the card game.
That's cool. Anyways, glad to have you back for more deck profiles. We're gonna be doing this more often.
Yeah, appreciate
Take it
it.
easy, everybody. Bye bye.